From the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports.
Basketball season is gradually coming to a close in mid-Missouri. One day after the Missouri women were eliminated in the opening round, the women would face an uphill battle to open up their national tournament run. Today, it was a first-round clash in Palo Alto with the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. And Mizzou struggling early. They had lost 2 of their last 3 innings today. The Eagles inbounding up 6 and getting the easy layup under the basket pinched in. And the Tigers, a little bit shocked, you'll see here. The Tigers trailed 41-32 at the break. Second half, Sophie Cunningham trying to get something done. The spin and the finish. She had 35 points today, a season high. No other Tiger even had double digits, and in the end, it wasn't enough. Erica Nelson with a 3, and the Eagles pull up the upset, 80-70. So a tough finish of the season for the Mizzou women. KOMU 8's Landon Burke was at the game, and he joins us live from Palo Alto with updates from the team. Landon?
Hey, Joe. Yeah, thank you very much. Kind of looking back at that defeat there, it was a very physical game. From the opening drive on the tip-off there, Florida Gulf Coast is known for being pretty proficient at the three-point line. And while Mizzou was preparing for that, I don't know if they were quite as prepared for Florida Gulf Coast to really drive into the basket like that and then go for all the layups. Coach Robin Pinchton was talking to the press after the game, kind of talking about how the game ended up the way it did, and she identified 2 things. One, first of all, the physicality of the game. They were a scrappy bunch, FGCU was. 2, Coach felt that the Tigers allowed their opponent too many trips to the free throw line. Now, though that was a kind of a somber moment for the Tigers, season not ending how they'd hoped, Coach Pinchton did give a little bit of a hopeful message while she was reflecting on the season as a whole. Let's take a listen.
It's just such a process, and we continue to build and grow. It's just that as you have more and more success, your expectations become higher and higher, and that's good. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, the Tigers had hoped to make the Sweet 16 this time around. It's something they haven't done since 2001, but let's not forget, this was the 3rd year in a row that the Mizzou women's basketball team made it to the NCAA tournament, so something to consider there. Joey, back to you, bud.
With the women's season over, it's just the second season finale in 2 days for Mizzou basketball teams. The men suffered a 67-54 loss in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Despite a season with 20 wins, it's hard to know exactly what the future holds. Mizzou careers for Cassius Robertson, Jordan Barnett, and Brett Rao are over. That remains a question for some of the other contributors as well, including the Porter brothers, Michael Jr. and Jonte. Neither have made a decision yet on next season. Michael says he would not rule out a return, though, and Coach Conzo Martin says he would stand by the Porters' decisions.
I made a decision to try to help the team, and I gave what I could give with what I have right now. I got to do what's best for me as well. I got to get my body right and just keep moving forward step by step. I probably won't make that decision for a little while.
And my job as a coach, as a father, as a leader, to put him in the best position possible to be successful, to support himself and his family. And you got to do what's best for you and your family. It'd be hard to turn that down. Put them in the best position possible. Whatever they want to do, I support it.
From the hardwood, or more local postseason basketball news first, the CMU women's basketball team also came to an end today. The Eagles fell to Freed Hardman in the overtime in the NAIA Elite 8. CMU finished the season with a record of 28-8. Now from the hardwood to the diamond, Mizzou baseball had its 9-game winning streak snapped on Friday, and tonight the Tigers will have an opportunity to even their road series with LSU. Southpaw Michael Plassmeyer on the mound, scoreless game through 3 innings. In the bottom of the 4th, runners in scoring position. Bo Jordan launches one to the warning track, opposite field. It's a sacrifice fly, though, and gets LSU on the board, up 1-0 early. Next inning, 1 runner on. Brett Bond drives it opposite field as well, and it carries. And it's going to go into the stands, the 2nd round tripper of the year for Bond. Mizzou moves ahead 2-1, and that was just the start of a lot of scoring in this game. Once they get to the 8th inning, Mizzou gets some insurance and even more. Bases loaded. Trey Harris brings home 2 with a single. Lots of scoring late in this game as Mizzou picks up the 12-6 victory. It's their first victory ever at LSU. In on to softball, the Tigers looking to snap a 6-game losing streak. Maddie Norman in a hole early, but she gets some help. Bases loaded for Colby Romaine in the 3rd inning. She delivers the grounder just past the 3rd baseline. 3 runs would come to score. Romaine with the go-ahead double. And later in the inning, still no outs. Riley Pierce takes one deep to center and just enough to score for a sac fly. Mizzou gets more runs later on, and Maddie Norman goes the distance. Tigers defeat Mississippi State 7-3. It's Mizzou's first conference win of the season. And lastly, the Missouri wrestling team finishes 6th at the NCAA tournament in Cleveland. It's Missouri's 4th straight top 10 finish in the tournament. Penn State took 1st place in this year's tournament. And that's sports.